What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video where we've got a whole bunch to go over from the last few months at Black River Motorsports Park. A lot has happened this year. There's been some huge changes out at the track. The karting track is completely operational. We got a new road built behind the tower, and I'm trying to think of what else. Those are a couple of the big changes, but anyway, it's been a long time since an upload again, and we're gonna hop right into today's video, going over all the springtime maintenance. But as always, if you guys do want to directly support the track, you can do it for free by subscribing to this channel or liking the video, and especially sharing today's video, get some more views on it, and it's helpful. Otherwise, you can directly support the track by coming out and seeing everything in person. Our first karting event was yesterday, it'd be July 12th. There was a ton of people out there. It was really cool to see, and honestly, I was pretty shocked at how busy it was. So. My buddy Chad here at the Tea Leaves said it would be busy, and I think he was right. So it's only going to get busier from here, especially as word of mouth travels. If you're curious and want to see a little sneak peek, you can see lots of photos and stuff from the event day yesterday on the Black River Motorsports Park Facebook page. That'll be linked in the description. But anyway, let's hop right into today's video, and we'll see you guys out at the track. Well, it's been a little while since we've been out here in the plow truck. Snow's melting. It's late February, which is crazy. And it doesn't look like there's any flooding, which is really nice. But what we got to do today is start working on the garage again. I got a little bit of shelving to set up out there, and hopefully in the next few weeks, if it stays nice out like this, I'll be taking the plow off of the plow truck as well. Then we can start kind of putzing out the track again, get things cleaned up and ready for spring and the karting and autocross season ahead. So let's get over to the garage. We'll see how things are looking, and then I got a couple of chunks of shelving to set up from Menards, and we will go from there. Okay, so basically the reality of the situation out here is that I need more shelving, and where it's going to go is back in this corner and maybe along this back window. I end up storing the plow for the truck in here in the summer, but there's so much stuff here and clutter from the last couple years that I got to get things off the floor. I got to get things stored a little bit better and get things a little bit better organized, because a couple of tables that I have, they've literally just turned into benches, and like anybody knows, you can't have enough storage, and the more storage you have, the more stuff you have. So yeah, basically you can see all the clutter here too. It's just mostly like hand tools and consumable type things. But if I could free this space up, I'll have a little bit more room to set stuff out, and it's more usable space. I've already filled up a lot of the shelving and whatnot. But the gist of it is, I got a couple of 8-foot shelves to build up. These are 4,000-pound Metallicus something shelves. The width is 79 inches. They're 8 feet, 71 inches high, and 24 inches deep. So we got couple feet deep. They're pretty good sized units. I really like them. Set one up in my personal garage already for all the track stuff on it, so I got that organized and put away. But right here is going to be the most usable space for it, and then probably again on this wall over here. So both sides of where the four-wheeler is probably where that stuff's going to end up. So that's about it for now. Let's get these boxes opened up and start putting the shelving together. It's definitely going to take a little while, but yeah, let's get started on that. Boxes are heavy. There's 4 of them. Now, the biggest pain from these, even from the first time, is putting these little nuts way in here. It's not really just a good way to get your finger on it because the bolts are so short. Through the bottom of the foot plate, you get access for like a tool or whatever to tighten it, like a wrench, but still kind of a pain to get these things all situated. Next step is basically we're going to build this thing out to its full 8-foot width. So you got to find a place to kind of do it where you're not torquing anything or really wrecking it. So it's a little tricky, but very doable by yourself. I'll just probably find a wall space somewhere or do it on the floor to start. whether you care to watch or not. Finished product kind of looks like that on the outside. And then here, you can see how they fold over themselves and they get secured that way. Same on this side, so here's a view of one not finished. They're just little metal hooks, kind of loop it through there. It hooks on itself. So I'm gonna get busy putting these together. Not real interesting, but I'll show you when I'm all done and setting the wire racks in, and we'll start organizing the first shelf. It's a little deeper than I was remembering, but anyway. Okay, so we got a couple of workbenches back. I'm gonna have more room to finish painting over here and whatnot too. What this is actually ultimately going to do is just give us more table space to actually work on stuff or set things down as we come and go in the garage. And right now, I got this one, you know, maybe 70% full, 65, 70%, and I got one more to put up. I don't think it's 8 feet to the door frame. It would be nice if it was, if I could set on the back shelf. And the other thing I think I may do, there is a chance I might totally rearrange and set it here, which would be a good use of space. And then these tables are obviously lower. They can go along the windows and walls here. And it's kind of unused area right now. But anyway, I'm gonna get cleaning up here. I gotta unload some stuff out of the truck for a future project out at the track. We'll catch up with you guys in the next segment. All right, so this is pretty much the completed product right now. I got my couple of junky old toolboxes here full of usable tools, pretty standard stuff that you need to do farm type fixes or whatever. The shelving, not quite sure what I'm gonna put on here yet. I got plenty of room to grow, which is excellent, and I can rearrange as needed. I'm gonna kind of keep things over here that we use often and less often used things or materials kept over there. But basically what we got is just a ton more room, which is awesome. And everything is much better organized. It doesn't quite look like a disaster like it's been. A little bit of material is gonna go away once I fix the garage. I got this corner's kind of congested yet. Maybe those canopies will end up higher somewhere, but that's what I got for this segment. We'll catch up with you guys in the next part of the video. Okay, so next order of business is going to be to get the Mule fired up for the first time this year. And, ooh, I almost lost. It's very important. So this is an older battery, just keeps on working, so I'm going to keep using it, honestly. But yeah, I'll get this ready to run for the season, and this year I'm gonna give it an oil change. I honestly haven't done it. Right off the bat here is everything kind of roughed on, and then we're gonna make sure that this thing fires up and ready to pull the drag behind it, because I'm gonna try and clean up the driver a little bit. Next couple of days I think we're supposed to have some decent weather, so if I get everything all churned up it should dry out okay, and that would be a good start to maintaining the road this year. So, better grab I think a 10 mil, tighten these up quick, and then we will see if it'll start. All right, let's see if this thing will fire up. It's kind of warm out, so I got hope. Let's prime it a little bit. There's a primer bulb. Very nice. It is very cold-blooded. Try this again. It's alive. Let's see if it runs. Idea here is while it's drying out is to knock down these big ruts, and today drag a bunch of this gravel back in that I plowed out this winter. But young Jamie and I are off on an adventure today. He does love it out here. Man, the snow's almost gone, honestly. Let's see. The front driveway back here is a lot more dry as you come into the property than back here. It's still pretty wet, so I'll probably bypass this for now. But otherwise, yeah, gonna do a little bit of dragging. So basically after like 2 passes on here, the ridges are almost gone, and my hope is that over the next week it's going to dry out, and when we drive on it's just going to compact more flat. Otherwise you get low spots, potholes, mud spots, whatever. Might be a little early in the year to be doing this, I'll be honest, but at the end of the day it's just a little bit of property maintenance that gets done in the background. So I'm going to keep dragging, especially up on the front of the property, try and get things nice and flat, and then hopefully get the sun and some wind will dry everything up a little bit better and quicker, and then start the big project to raking some of this crushed concrete back in the driveway, because I did a good job casting it with the plow truck. So I'm gonna go for a little ride with my little dog. He might go for a run, but yeah, we'll check back in a little bit and get the plow off of the plow truck for the year. Okay, so it's maybe unwise to do this soon in the year, but at the end of the day, everything's so thawed at this point that I don't think I'm going to plow. Even if we get a little bit more snow, you're more likely to actually tear up all the grass and whatnot and just make a giant mess. So what I'm going to do is disconnect the plow and keep it in here where it's nice and dry for the summer, and be able to use it again next year. Battery connection there. And this one, oh boy, I forget how it goes. I might have to think about this one for a second. Oh, that's disconnected. Okay, so basically, got a couple of caps here. These up, and those are weather sealed. Okay, one little keeper pin, and we release. And at this point, the truck is actually free. I'll just have to get the little horns out of here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So inside of here, people that aren't familiar with plows, a lot of plow setups are real similar, I guess you could say, especially the later model you get. This is a Hinneker plow. Boss is real popular. There's lots of different ones, Snow Dog, I guess. Who knows, Western. Anyway, this is a Hinneker setup. I don't know what you'd call this model plow or whatever, but all I have to do now is get the plow and truck at a similar level enough to where I can actually just separate them from each other, because right now they're kind of like this. So at the end of the day, there's a horn here that mounting ear goes into on the frame of the truck, as well as the other side, but it's technically free from the truck. So we'll see if I can separate it easy enough. Otherwise, it is a little bit of a dance to get it unhooked in this type of position. But anyway, won't be too bad. This might not be too bad, honestly. Here. Yeah, okay, I'm just thinking I'm just going to be able to drive away. So let's see if that's true. Well, I'm going to pull the truck back a little. Okay, I'll just roll the truck back a little and there you go, she's free. It's attempting a reinsertion. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna get this on the block and that's it for taking the plow for the year. All right, there you go. That is the plow removed, and what I'm gonna do, I'll put a little Amsoil metal protect on the cylinders and stuff. And I don't know, maybe I'll put a bag over the lights and whatever so I don't get any fading, but I'm also thinking about and have been talking about with a couple of friends about putting blinds on the garage. So that actually solve that too. Maybe that's a little bit more sensible, but anyway, next task, I'm gonna clean up the floor in here a little bit, maybe do a little bit more dragging, and that'll be about it for this segment. That was the big step that I wanted to get done today, but we got the Cub Cadet running, the Mule is running great, the drag's working. I'm doing a little bit of cleanup. We're gonna fix up the blower this year. Ever since I bought it, that one tire here has gone flat. And I'm finally gonna figure out what's up with that and probably replace the front wheel on it. It's worn out, and basically give this thing a little bit of a service, give it another lease on life, because I do use the heck out of that thing too. So I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup in here and we will go into the next segment of today's video. Alright, so the next thing in today's video we got to go over is changing the oil on the F935 and the Kawasaki Mule 1000. I think it's actually branded like a KAF450 or something. It's a twin cylinder deal. These mules are super tough, and fortunately it's been tough enough that over the last year or better, I actually haven't serviced it. I'm a little embarrassed by it. We use it a lot. This is something that's way overdue. So I am giving it an oil change. It does take 10W40. I believe it's just over 3 quarts. I'll have to look it up. I got it saved on my phone. But I've got that and a 51365 Wix oil filter. So I get this stuff right from Amsoil here in Superior. I'll also be using, I think it's a 15W40 diesel oil on the F935. I've been using that for a couple years, trying to keep everything running tip-top out here. So if you guys are interested in using the same products that I've got, or if you're trying to save a couple bucks on these type of products, you can sign up as a preferred customer at the link in the description. Support the track, support Amsoil. They're local to Superior. So if you want, pick up a little bit of this at the link in the description. They got everything for passenger cars, light trucks, small engines, pretty much any UTV, side-by-side, motorcycle, snowmobile type product you got. You two-stroke guys have Sabre Racing Oil. I'll be filling that little four-wheeler up I got. It's a little 90cc two-stroke deal we're using out here to zip around on Autocross days. So this thing's been running really good, and I'm going to try and keep it running tip-top with some Sabre. So anyway, I gotta tip the bed to get access to the oil filter, and the next thing I gotta do is actually just dump the oil. These Kawasaki Mules have kind of a unique system where the engine oil is shared on the entire drive line. So the differential, you know, it's kind of like a CVT transmission deal. But yeah, anyway, the differential, rear end as it would be, transmission, however that would work, and the engine oil are all shared in the same basin or bath. So Yeah, I am going to drain it, fill it, and it's pretty basic. You're basically doing an oil change, and it does everything on this machine. So that's really the service I got to do on it, other than probably some tires, but I bet you I get another year out of these. So let's drop this cover off. I know it's a little bit of a leak. I don't know if it's just wet or if it's actually leaking now, so I'm going to zip that off quick too. See if I can't clear that out, but it's looking a little bit wet. I'm not quite sure where it may be leaking from, but I'll at least investigate that. So, all right, let's get right to it. I think tonight it is a Wednesday night, so we've actually got the Trap Club shooting next door, which is kind of fun to listen to. It kind of sounds like World War III in the background. A lot of shooting going on, so let's see what we got down here, and look at that. That is wet. And not obvious where it's coming from. All right, so I got it all, got the little cover taken off, and I'm gonna start it right now to warm it up. Make sure everything's gonna move smoothly. Yep, that is some dark oil coming out of there. A little ashamed, not gonna lie. It's definitely overdue. I'm not gonna pretend it's not. Oof. We're gonna treat you right now. Don't worry. Don't worry, old girl. So this poor thing's been a total workhorse out here. It's really not got a lot of sympathy. I'll just be honest. But it keeps running really well, so I'm finally getting around, you know, to a place where I can start servicing stuff again. It's not really obvious, I'll be honest. Might be an axle seal on this side, potentially, but I'll have to clean it, drive it, and see where it's leaking from. It's so dirty, you really can't tell. So we'll give it a service, figure out where it's leaking from, and go from there. So let this drain out, do a refill. Like I say, it takes about 4 quarts, and then this should be good to go after I spin off the oil filter right there, which will conveniently dump oil all over the control arm, if that's what I'm seeing correctly. So I'll lay down some towels or whatever, and we'll be good to go. Got the old oil filter out, comes a new one. You won't be able to see what I'm doing at all. Squeeze bottles they make are really good for like differentials, transmissions, things like that. I'd wonder if they got one for engine oil too. Ooh. 10W40 is pretty thick when it's not like 80 degrees out, so it pours a little slow. That's what got me the first time. So looks like we're halfway up on our sight line on our level, and it shows like, I think it's just over 3 quarts is what it takes. So what we're gonna have to do is start it, see where our fill level is, and go from there. I got 1 more quart, which I knew I was 1 over what it was required, but it's gonna give us some spare oil too to use on this machine, which is good, because inevitably it'll maybe consume a little bit while we're running it or whatever. So at the end of the day, more the merrier. That's the way I see it. So I'm gonna put the oil fill cap back on, we'll fire it up, check our level, and we'll be done with the service. I guess it'll be a touch low after running it, so that'll be perfect. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the mower is up next, which, by the way, the Mule sounds about the same. I'll be honest, it sounds about the same. I was hoping it was gonna, that lifter tight noise was gonna sound a little better, but it doesn't. So at the end of the day, what do you expect? But what I'm gonna do is hook up the battery real quick here. I'm gonna start it up, get this thing warmed up totally. yeah, get the engine all warm because I'm going to change the engine oil first. And from there, let's see. And from there, we'll go on to servicing the deck and everything else. I got to sharpen the blades, grease all the bearings and everything, so with the PTO shaft. But anyway, a little bit to service on this thing. I think both tanks are full. I've got the key, so we're off to a good start. I'm going to snug these up. I think it's going to fire right up if I had to guess. And then, yeah, we'll go from there on servicing the John Deere. All right, so engine's all warmed up. See if we can get some oil changed on this bad girl too while we're here. Like, I always warm up the engine before you actually do a drain or fill or anything. Even so, I felt the oil, it's still kind of cold. Diesels take a long time to warm up. So, pitch black oil, you expect that from a diesel. So anyway, we'll drain this out, do an oil change, and then onto the transmission filter. Alright, so I'm using Amsoil 15W40 diesel max duty protection oil. If I recall, it's just over 3 quarts, so I'm going to fill this up to 3, check the level, run it, and see where we're at. Pretty straightforward on these oil changes, but this is stuff that, you know, I should really have, like, I don't know, a GoPro strapped on my head or something, because a lot of the time that I do this, I don't film it. There's just so much of this stuff that happens in the, you know, behind the scenes, so to say, out at the track, that it just gets lost. Just like working on a fence post, people coming out here on the same day to potentially rent out carts to go karting. You know, lots of stuff happens when I don't film it. So, trying to do better about it. Trying to get more things filmed for you guys, because I know a lot of guys and girls out there really like watching the track series, and I'm filming everything that I can while it's practical. But I got to do something different where I got a GoPro on all the time or something, because a lot of the time it's it really impedes progress. You know, on any one project to stop and film this stuff. I mean, even changing the oil. Seems like it takes, I don't know, 10 times as long is what it feels like. But anyway, I'm going to keep on filling this engine up. We'll fire it up, change out the transmission oil filter as well too, and we should be pretty much good to go for the season. Okay, so the F935 is totally serviced. I got both the spindle bushings greased, 3 deck blade bearings greased. All the blades are sharpened. Drive shaft yoke is greased. The carrier bearing is greased. Engine oil changed. Hydraulic and transmission filter changed. What else? Rear spindles are both greased. The, I guess what you call the steering rod has got to be replaced, but I greased it. And the axle bearing has been greased too. So pretty much everything on this mower has been serviced. We got Amsoil all over the place. The grease I had on site, so I actually didn't change that to anything specific. It's just what I had. So what I want to do is just put some fresh fuel in it. I got a little power service I'm going to toss in there too. It's good for the mechanical fuel pump and the injection system. So it's something that I kind of run religiously in all my diesel stuff, which is one thing right now. But anyway, let's fire this thing up. I'm gonna go cut some grass, clean up the spot. I'm gonna clean up where it's parked, and then it's gonna be ready to go pretty much for the season out here. All right, so everything's getting pretty well fixed up in the garage, which is great. Oil change done on the Mule, blower, the F935. That's a 2-stroke little wheeler we use for running cones. Just make sure I got 2-stroke oil and fuel in that. Charging the battery on the Yamaha. I'll be able to use this from here out too. I finally put a starter solenoid in it, and it seems to crank off, but the battery never had a chance to charge all the way. But new starter solenoid in there, so it should be good to go after this. Today is Friday. Took the day off, and what I'm doing is setting up a course out here. It's raining, so I'm not using the big camera, but I got a course all set up. We're gonna be starting out here for Autocross 2.0. I'm gonna take the Corvette out, where we'll hop to the GoPro real quick and show you guys what it's like, kind of setting up the course and moving cones and whatnot. So each course is a little different. I paint them, you know, each time under the cones, little dots that are different colors, so you can set them up and repeat the course. But changing this one up just a little bit, opened it up quite a bit, so there's a little bit more freedom to be creative as you drive instead of having to go here and there. It's kind of an interesting process setting up the courses. It's something I've been learning a ton about the last couple of years, especially, you know, watching a lot of videos online, then going to a few different events and whatnot. But learning from a ton of good people out here, especially Cody Smith usually has some good input. Rich Wilkinson and guys like Ian Seppinen and Vladimir Skirt have all done this for a long time. Lexi Saban as well. But anyway, let's go hop in the Corvette. We'll go for a quick rip in there. It's wet out. Tires are pretty bad, so it's going to skate. And we're going to keep it off the grass. So we'll hop in there and go for a ride. Well, as luck would have it, the battery is dead in the GoPro. So we'll see if we can get at least one lap in. I'll show you guys what it's like. Very wet out, so no expectations of going fast. Alright, so got the GoPro charged up quite a bit, and I'll show you guys what a quick lap is like. No real heat in the tires right now, so do a little sight lap. Very fast is what I'm going to say tomorrow. Be very fast. Get you a different view somewhere else on the car, do a couple more runs, see what it's like. Alright, so something I did off camera a little bit is this blower motor is something that I bought prior to actually purchasing the tractor, closing on it. So this thing came first. I got a lot of sentimental value attached to this, if anything. It's needed a front wheel. The whole time I bought it, actually it wore out. This is for, pretty much was for blowing off parking lots for guys that did line painting and striping and stuff. I think it was this rear tire leaked the whole time I had it. So every time it'd come out, I'd have to put some air in it. And I finally, after 4 years, broke down and spent the 30 bucks and got 2 new rear wheels and tires and a front, front caster wheel or whatever. And wouldn't you know it, the first time I used it, I got a nail in it and that wrecked the tube, got a hole in the tire. And I spent 2 hours replacing this stupid wheel and tire with a tubeless one onto a non-tubed wheel because the offset was a little bit different. And my buddy Chad and I, thank God Chad was here, he knocked out the bearings to offset it. The old one, we totally farmer fixed it, and it's straight, but I wasted hours of my life now on this stupid wheel and tire, and broke down when I got a couple more, so I got 1 spare and 1 to put on it, so should be good to go, hopefully forever. I mean, the odds of getting some piece of junk in there are really like 0. So for that to happen, it was really disheartening, if anything. It's like after all those years of screwing around filling it, I finally fixed something and it died the first time I used it. So they've gone all the way around the track, all the way to this corner over here. I'll show you that outside if the rain dies down a little bit today, but they've been going crazy putting in all these fence posts and it looks awesome. So pretty much what's left out there is putting up fencing. A lot of it we have, a lot of it we don't have. So clay track's come along. The first, I think, race day is June 28th, so that's coming up pretty quick. It's going to come up sooner than we think. I know that to be the case, especially from doing the autocrossing stuff the last few years. Those event dates, they really sneak up on you. So anyway, I'm going to swap this out real quick, and then we'll get this thing out of the way. And I think at this point in the garage, pretty much everything's good to go, minus the mower, which needs front wheel bearings. So yeah, looking pretty good out here. Let's get this swapped. It's stuff like this where, I mean, you really just gotta laugh. Because I was having a tough time with this. I was struggling, fighting. I thought I could get away with putting on a tubeless wheel, or a tubeless tire, onto a rim that I knew fit, or the new rim that I had. And it turns out, of course, thanks to Chad being here, he saved me from wasting more time, but it turns out that it's actually a tubeless rim is different than a tubed rim, and I didn't think about it and I didn't realize it, but he's 100% right. So I was trying to put a tubeless tire on a tubed rim, and there's no knurled edge on it to actually hold a bead or anything, so that would have been a giant waste of time. But as luck would have it, they make more of these things, so what I did is went and bought another one. I'm gonna put some grease on that first. So I got that charger running in the background. That lawnmower battery is super dead. So try and grease this, take care of it, save a little more wear and tear, A lot of people ask, like, I'm looking for track update videos, things like that, and the reality is, like, most of the time this is what's going on, and I don't know if people even want to watch this stuff. It seems kind of boring, it's very monotonous, it's tedious stuff, it's not, I don't know, let me know in the comments, I guess, if you want to watch more of this. I'll film more, and frankly what I need to do is follow something like from Victory Outdoor Services. That's a channel I watch a lot, and that guy that runs the channel and owns the business, Ryan, just seems to use a GoPro for everything. That seems to work really good. It's one of those things where you've always got a camera on you. All right, almost home free. Okay. So that'll work. Now, put a little air to it and we will be good to go. See how long this one will last out here. And again, you gotta laugh. I don't know, it feels pretty much like the other one, so probably call that good. All right, job done, I guess. Alright guys, so at this point in the video, we're pretty much all done with the spring, I guess, post-winter time maintenance of everything out the track. And what we're going to hop into real quick is just going over what the first Autocross or two is like. They're both real similar. We've had 3 of them already this year at the track, and we also went to Grand Forks, North Dakota, and ran the Autocross, the Smoke and Shine event at the Alaris Center. So 3 of us from the team, Alex, Jeff, and myself, went out there and ran an Autocross away from our home track for the first time. Overall, it went really well. We're going to do a little hiccup that we'll go over in a future video that we really couldn't have foreseen coming, but after a clunky start, it ended up running really good, and all the drivers had a good time. So we got the rolling blower all fixed up. We got a bunch of stuff down at the track in these last few segments, but let's hop to a little bit of footage from Autocross 2.0. Give you a little drone footage that was taken after the event day was pretty much done. So a lot of people had taken off, but anyway, we're going to get a couple more clips in this video and we'll wrap it up. Probably in the next week or less, my goal is to upload another video. I got to get a few out here pretty regularly to get all you guys up to speed on it, because it's been a while and a lot has changed since the last upload, which if I recall was on the Corvette. But anyway, things are still up and running out at BRMP in Superior, Wisconsin. If you guys do want to come out and autocross, you have your next chance September 21st. That's on a Sunday. You can check out more information on our Facebook page or www.brmpwi.com, and you can come out and see the place in person. So we'll continue on today's video, and I'll show you guys a little bit more about what's been going on out of the track.
I did.
All right, so here we are at BRMP for Autocross 1.0. It's like 6:30 in the morning. We pretty much have a half hour till the gates open, but I really love these mornings out here. Pretty much the course is going to start here. We're going to run counterclockwise around the track a couple times. I think lap times are going to be around the 40 to 50 second mark. But basically, I was trying to get everything done the day prior, and the next day is usually event days like Saturday. The event day is usually Saturday, so looks like we got 22 or 3 cars in the morning and maybe just over half of that in the afternoon. So for whatever reason, the morning's busy today and the afternoon's pretty quiet. I don't think anything else is going on, but everything's looking really good out here. We got a lot of good sponsor support this year, which is awesome, but there's always something to do. So I gotta go grab the mule, a couple more fire extinguishers, get things set up out here, as well as a couple of canopies, get everybody a little bit of shade, and we'll get set up and running here in a little bit. Okay, got all our stuff out, and as usual, family's here first. So grandma, mom, dad, and my son are here right now, but I got a couple of tech signs. I got a tech sign to set out. My buddy Andy set these up a couple of years ago, but we got some vendor parking in pit area. But anyway, a little bit more to set up, and then in not too long from now, people are going to start coming out. Speaking of that, the man of the hour, Andy's here. Well, that's all for today's video. Obviously some of those clips are a few months old, but I want to get everybody up to speed. Should have got this done a long time ago, but at the end of the day, sitting down and editing a video and uploading it and just everything involved with it, it can take 4, 5, 6 hours. So you can almost set aside a good chunk of a work day, or you're borrowing time at night from the next day to do it. And frankly, something I've found that is a super finite resource, especially lately, the last 8 months or a year, is time. So at the end of the day, I just want to keep you guys in the loop that have been following along since day one. Thank you for watching. It's been a few years. It's been a long journey. If you guys want to support the track directly, again, we're still in operation and actually busier than ever physically in person, uploading less than ever, but the track is busier than ever, which is amazing. You know, it's kind of been it was a dream, you know, a few years ago to have a motorsports park, but, you know, probably in the next year or so, it's looking like it's going to be, especially when we can run event days at the same time between karting and autocrossing with the new road we put in. So anyway, that's all for today's video. Thanks you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.